I caught a whopper!
Ah! 9 o'clock team is busted. What? 9 o'clock is torch. This is Uncle Paul's fish right here. Like to catch some fish, man? Watch your lip. Watch your lip.
Hey everybody, this is David Fine, and I just wanted to create a short video, or as short as I can, a video describing our beach fishing fellowship this summer, 2025 beach fishing fellowship from the Calvary Men Ministry. And guys, if you're watching this video, it's because you're either in Calvary Men and you're part of our Thursday night Bible study or one of our men's groups, or were forwarded this video by one of the guys that are in the group, and they just want you to know and be in the know with information about what the Beach Fishing Fellowship is all about, how to be prepared to have a great time and a great experience as we go do a great Christian, family-friendly men's fishing group event on the beach, okay? And what does that look like? What does that mean? Do I have to fish? I'm going to answer all kinds of questions in this video. So if you're interested in coming, then watch this video so we can get this information to you and you can plan accordingly. So I've got my computer here and I'm going to read from my notes to make sure I don't miss anything. Our fishing fellowship will consist of 5 different events over the summer, okay? And I'm going to read the dates to you real quick and the team leader for that date. And so if you don't know what that means, you don't know who the teams are, just come, all right? It'll be fine. Okay, so our first event is going to be June 29th. That's a Sunday afternoon from 5 to 9 o'clock in the afternoon. And Blake Jackson is going to be the team lead there. Our next event is going to be July 16th. That's a Wednesday night, Wednesday afternoon, okay, from 5 to 9 o'clock. Tim Darling is going to lead that one. July 20th is Sunday, July 20th from 5 to 9. That's going to be Ben Dusenberry. And August 3rd is a Sunday from 5 to 9. That's John McNamara. And August 6th is going to be Chris Chavanis. And those are the 5 dates. So we've got June 29th, July 16th, July 20th, August 3rd, August 6th are the 5 dates. Now, if you're part of this group, so each of the team leads have other table leaders or groups, Calvary Men's groups, that are associated with that group. We've assigned different tables from our Thursday night men's Bible study to those team leads. So if you're one of those groups, they're going to let you know, your team lead will let you know which is going to be your night to go and fish as a group. Okay, fish together as a group. But you can come to any of them. Okay, so if you love fishing, you just want to come and hang out, you can come to all 5 of them. That's fine. Just the points that are accumulated, because this is a competition, are going to be whoever's group is going to be is that night. Whatever leader is assigned to that night, any fish that are caught on that night is going to be, count to that person's score in the competition. So that being said, a couple quick things about the event. We have these Revelation 21:5 Calvary Men fishing shirts that we created, and we're selling for $20. We would love to get as many people as we can in these shirts. These are like this quick dry material. Look, Building Kingdom Men. It's a pretty cool shirt. Revelation 21:5 is, "He who sits on the throne makes all things new." And of course, we've got a picture of the throne on the back. And it's a great shirt. It's quick dry. If it gets wet, 20 minutes later, it's completely dry. It's great UV protection and all that. So if you want one of these shirts, we're going to have them for sale, $20 a piece at the Calvary Men Thursday night men's Bible study. So if you get this link and you don't go to the Thursday night men's Bible study, every Thursday night in our banquet halls at the Fort Lauderdale campus, we have a men's Bible study, and you're welcome to come and join us. So that being said, let's get an overview of the event, and I'm going to do some commonly asked questions as well. So an overview, what is the Beach Fishing Fellowship? Well, it's a place and a time where over the summer where we're giving the guys of our church, the men of our church, an opportunity to just come together for some good, friendly Christian fellowship outside the church, different setting, completely new environment, and just chill, just hang out and have some good, clean fun with other brothers and sisters in Christ. It is a competition, so there's going to be that element is involved as well, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. But wives and kids and everybody's invited, so it's not just for men, even though it's hosted by Calvary Men. If you're married, you got a girlfriend, guys, you have a girlfriend, your wife, your kids, bring them. It's family friendly. You don't have to fish. You can come and just hang out. In fact, most people choose not to fish. They just want to come and hang out and have some fun. Okay, so the events will officially begin at 5 p.m. and we'll start at 5 p.m. We encourage as many people as we can to get there at 5 p.m. That might be easier on the Sunday events than it is on the Wednesday events because people work. We get that, but as close as to 5 p.m. as you can get there as possible, that would be the best, because we're going to give some instructions at 5 o'clock and we're going to do a brief devotion. The team leader for that event is going to give like a 5 or 10 minute inspirational biblical message, a devotion, which is really a beautiful time to set our evening of fishing up in the right way and start off with the Word of God and some prayer. Okay, so we'll give some instructions. Then we are going to have a fishing team, a group of guys that I know that love to fish. They know how to fish. They're going to be wearing these shirts, and their job is going to be to make sure that everybody has bait on their lines and that there's organization there on the beach, because like it's fishing. There's hooks, there's knives, we have to be organized, make sure we're safe, and organization is very important if you actually want to catch fish. So our team members include, you might know some of these names. We got Eric Purdick, Eric Martinez, George Leal, Ryan Roll, Bob Stull, Tim Eakins, Thomas Baxter, Brett Lawson, Harrison Mariano, Caleb Logan, Peter Espinoza, Joel Walters, Tim Chamberlain, Daniel Claver, and more. And I'm going to probably have more fishing team members coming up soon. But these are all guys that are going to be at these events, and they're going to help keep everything organized. It's very good. Okay, so we're going to have that team there. Now, we're going to fish from 5:30 after the devotion's done, from 5:30 until we can leave as late as we want. I'll probably be there into the night. The great thing about the location we're going is there's no time limit. We can stay there as late as we want. Most people leave as the sun goes down, like around 8:30, 9 o'clock or whatever, and that's fine. We'll be there later. But you can stay, you can go, you can come for an hour. Come check it out and leave whenever you want. But the competition will go on into the night. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. The actual competition is going to be judged by keeping an accumulative weight of all the fish that are caught. Okay, so for anything from, I'm not sitting there with a scale weighing everything, but if you catch a fish this big, I'm just counting that as a pound. All right, and we have actually a team of guys that are permitted and have all the licenses to shark fish. So there's going to be guys out there fishing for hammerhead sharks, and if you're part of that team, maybe you'll get a chance to tug on a shark. Who knows? We're not pulling the sharks on the beach. We're going to give an estimated weight, and we'll go from there and see who catches the most fish. But at the end of that night, I'll keep track of how much accumulative pounds of weight is there, and we'll determine a winner at the end of the summer after the August 6th event takes place. Okay? Now, as far as fishing gear goes, we are going to bring all the gear. I have tons of fishing equipment. We've got fishing team members that have equipment, so you don't need to bring anything. In fact, if you bring stuff and it's really not rated for salt water, then you might ruin your equipment. So if you're not confident that you have saltwater gear and fishing, and if you're not like a fisherman and you don't know if your gear is rated for salt water or not, leave it home. We have all the gear. We're going to have bait and all that. So please don't worry about bringing fishing stuff unless you really want to, and then fish at your own risk. It's up to you. The fishing team for that night, they're going to collaborate to invite fishermen that they know. So the fishing teams, like Blake is going first, right? So Blake on June 26th, I think it is, if he knows fishermen that he can invite, and hey, dude, you know how to fish? I've got this thing. I'm in a fishing tournament on the beach for my church. Come on down. Would you help us out? And he brings fishermen that know how to fish. You can invite whoever you want, and that will help your score out. So the teams can collaborate and get as creative as they want to get an edge, competitive edge over some of the other teams. That's up to them. But we also want to keep this in mind that this is also an outreach opportunity. So a lot of people you can invite to church, until you're blue in the face, and they'll never step foot in a church. But if you say, hey, my church is having a fishing tournament on the beach, would you come? They might be like, oh, really? Your church has a fishing thing? Yeah, I'll go to that. That sounds harmless, right? So it could be an outreach opportunity. Every time we do this event, people get saved. And we've actually had some people get saved and baptized right there while we're fishing at the beach. It's really, really, really cool. So keep that in mind. There is an evangelistic opportunity where you can invite your friends, your family members, your neighbors that may not go to church to the fishing thing if they like fishing. So location, we are going to fish at my childhood fishing spot. That's why I'm very comfortable with it. I know how to fish this beach. I've been fishing the beach for almost 40 years. Yes, almost 40 years in Delray Beach, the south end of Delray Beach. If you were to go, if you were going to drive from Broward County, go north into Palm Beach County, it's LINTON Boulevard off of I-95, and you go east to A1A. When you hit the A1A light, you take a left. So you're going north on A1A, and about a mile north on A1A, you're going to see your first traffic light. It's called Casaurina Blvd. And the Delray Beach, or the Seagate Beach Club is there on your right-hand side. So once you see that traffic light for Casaurina Blvd, you're going to want to park along the road there if you can, or there's a park across the street called Anchor Park. And you can go in there. There's plenty of parking there. And sometimes it's harder to get parking spaces than others, but that's where you're going to park. And then we're going to fish straight down. Like if you were to go from the traffic light in Casaurina Blvd, there's a big opening right there where the traffic light is. You park and then you walk to the traffic light, you walk down onto the beach, and then you walk south about, 50 yards or 100 yards. And there's the beach club there. We're going to fish to the south of the beach club. That's private beach, and there's no lifeguard. There's nobody swimming there. It's just open and free, and that's where we're going to fish. So that's where we will be. There is pay for parking until 8 p.m. in Delray Beach, and after 8 p.m. The parking is free. But before that, it's like it's like $1.50 an hour or something like that. Something along those lines. Anchor Park also, they lock that park at around 8 p.m. So if you wind up parking in Anchor Park, you have to get your car out of there by 8 p.m. or it gets locked in. So that's the other thing. If you want to stay later and you parked in Anchor Park, you have to move it onto the roadside parking and then come back down to the beach. There are bathrooms also in Anchor Park. They lock those at sundown. So that's just kind of info for you there. Now, commonly asked questions, why Delray Beach? Isn't that awful far? Well, a couple quick things about that. Number one, I'm very comfortable fishing that beach. I know how to fish it. My team knows how to fish it, and there's a really great opportunity. Not all beaches are created equal for fishing. So there's a great opportunity to catch fish. But also Broward County has some regulations that make beach fishing, especially for large groups of people, pretty tough, because they don't let you fish on beaches that are guarded with a lifeguard. And there's really no big parking areas for private beaches. So it's really tough to do this event on any of the Broward County beaches. So we're going to go north, a little bit north to Delray. It's a little bit of a hike. For those of you that live a little further south, I apologize, but it's worth it. You're going to have a blast, I promise. Okay? There's plenty of parking, plenty of beach access, plenty of room, and we can fish without, restrictions. Okay? How do I find the group after I park? I already explained that a little bit. Once you park, you look for Casaurina Blvd, you go down onto the water's edge, you look to your right, which would be south, and you'll see a big group of people. I'll have something there called the Ark, which is my big PVC beach cart with balloon wheels. You'll see all the fishing poles and stuff. You won't be able to miss us, okay? All right, what happens if it rains? Okay, if there's rain in the forecast, unless there's like a hurricane, even if there's like a thunderstorm in the forecast, I'm still going down there. I mean, like we're going to continue. We're going to go down there. We're going to fish. If there's lightning, we won't set up if there's going to be lightning. But most of the time, lightning storms in South Florida pass relatively quickly, and usually fishing after a lightning storm is actually pretty good. So we'll go down there. We'll park. And usually the lightning will clear the beaches, all the parking clears out, and we can just sit there on the roadside, wait for the rain to pass, and we're going to keep fishing anyway. That's coming. If you want to come and, just know that we'll be down there. Minus a hurricane, we'll be down there, and, we'll stay in our cars if there's lightning, but as soon as the lightning clears, we're on the beach fishing, and we're going to have a great time, okay? Now, what do you need to bring? Again, I mentioned you don't have to bring fishing gear. We're going to bring all that stuff. We have dozens of fishing poles. We're going to fish for all different kinds of fish, which we'll talk to you in a minute. So unless you really want to bring your own stuff, bring it at your own risk. Don't get sand in your reel. Trust me, it's not fun. We have stuff, and we'll be able to do that. All right. Let's see. What do I need to learn? What do I need to learn how to use your fishing gear? Okay, I wrote that question. It was a little bit of a long question. I would say nothing. We are going to have a fishing team there that's going to help you learn how to use the gear. And, if you don't know how to use the gear, don't pick it up and start to mess with it. We have a team there. That's what their job is, to help people stay fishing, keep baits in the water, and have the best chance of success, okay? So just know beach fishing is very strategic. So we have a system, trust the system, trust your pastor, and trust the guys that are in there that are our fishing team. They're going to know what's up, all right? So very, very important, and this is just for my sake, because this is my gear. It's my personal gear. The church doesn't own this stuff. This is stuff that I bought with my own money. The two worst enemies of a fishing reel are sand and salt water. So if you pick up one of my fishing rods, please, if you love me, don't put it in the sand. Or even if you don't love me and you just want to honor Christ because it's my stuff, but don't put the reel down in the sand, because if sand gets in the gears of the fishing reel, it destroys it. It's awful. Okay. So every year somebody picks up a fishing reel and it goes in the dirt, and it's like, because I have to open it up and, do a big long cleaning thing to get all the sand out of the gears. It's not fun. And dumping it in the salt water is also not good, because even in saltwater rated gear, it's not good to get it full of salt water. So, please keep your fishing stuff out of the sand, out of the salt water. And we have PVC pipes there where the rods will go in the PVC pipes. Put the rod, if you pick a rod up, put it in a PVC pipe, or put it on my big beach cart. Lean it against the beach cart so the reel's not going in the sand. Please do that. That'd be just wonderful. You might say, Dave, I don't like to fish. I'm being invited to this thing. I don't want to fish. Do I have to fish? And the answer is no. Just come and hang out. Bring a beach chair, bring a towel, chill on the beach, bring a cooler with some non-alcoholic beverages, and have a good time and just chill. Just watch, make fun of us while we're fishing. I don't care. You don't have to touch a fish. You don't even have to look at a fish if you don't want to. Just for you. All right. Do I need a fishing license if I plan on fishing? It's recommended. Okay. Now you can go on to myfwc.org and you can type in the search. You go under licenses and you type in the search shoreline fishing permit. And it's actually a free license, where if you're going to go fish from a beach or from the shoreline, you can actually sign up for a free fishing permit, and you can get it ordered to, delivered. You can get a license, like a hard license card, or you can just print out the receipt and you can do it that way. Now, if you want to spend $15, you can get a saltwater fishing license, which lasts for an entire year. That's if you go out in a boat or whatever in the ocean. it counts for that, and that would be a good thing to do. But if you're really not really into it, and you don't have to have a fishing license, we're going to have tons of people there with fishing licenses, and you don't have to have one. Just come. All right. So if you're not going to fish hardcore, just come down. You don't need to buy a fishing license. All right. Next thing, do I need food? What do I bring? So the church is not bringing food to these events. We're going to be very busy doing the fishing thing. We're going to bring all the bait and all that stuff and all the fishing gear. So if you can't hang out on the beach without eating, bring your own food. We're not going to do any cooking. We're not going to have a grill. We're not going to do anything like that, because as soon as you add a grill or fire on a beach, then we have to get permits for that. And we're not going to do that. So bring a cooler, bring some sandwiches, bring some snacks, bring some water, a thermos with water, whatever. That's up to you. Okay. We are going to encourage you, if you bring anything, we want to leave the beach in better condition than when we found it. So when we show up, when we show up, think of the beach. We want it to look better when we leave than when we found it. So that means no trash. So bring a trash bag. We'll have trash bags there, but make sure that you're mindful. If you have a drink, you have a chip bag or whatever, make sure it goes in a trash can, because we want to respect God's creation and Delray Beach, because it's awesome. We don't want to mess it up. Okay. Is there a restroom to use? There is a restroom in Anchor Park, a nice, beautiful public restroom building. And it does lock at 8 o'clock. So if you don't use it before 8 p.m., gonna have to hold it. Just saying. That's the deal. There's no other close restroom after 8 p.m. on the beach. Okay. Can I bring my wife, my kids, my friends? Yes. Anybody is welcome. Kids will have a blast. We're going to ask that you keep track of your kids. Make sure they're not playing with fishing knives and hooks and all that stuff. Like our fishing team's going to do the best we can to make sure that everybody's safe. But if you're bringing kids, please make sure that they're not picking up fishing stuff, because it's fishing. There's hooks and knives, and we're going to keep it located, all that stuff located around my beach fishing cart. So if you can actually keep your kids away from the beach fishing cart the best if you can, that would be great, because that's where all that sharp stuff is going to be. So that's just, but your kids are welcome to come. Bring your snorkeling gear, bring their, stuff to dig in the sand, whatever. And we'll even get them set up on some fish. If we're catching fish, we can have the kids reeling some fish too. Okay. What other things should I bring? Okay. Bring a beach chair, bring a towel, snorkeling gear. If you want to do spike ball, if you want to bring an umbrella in case there's rain, whatever you want. Just bring whatever you want to be responsible for, and make sure you bring it with you when you leave. That's all. Sunburn, Dave, are we going to get sunburned? Well, some people burn easier than others, but it's going to be later in the afternoon, and we don't typically have much issue with sunburn. But if you're sensitive skin, I like to wear all these. I wear a hat and the UV, long sleeve shirt, so I don't, keeps us from getting burned. But usually that time of the day, the sun's not really high. It's got kind of sun's going down by that time. But bring some sunscreen if you're concerned about that. That's certainly advisable. You might say, Dave, I see that there's people taking pictures and videos, and I really don't want to be on YouTube because we're going to be doing stuff with videos and pictures. If that's you and you're like, Dave, I don't want to be on YouTube or whatever, just let me know. Let me know, and we'll make sure that we do our best to not involve you in any videos. Just know that if we catch a fish, we're videoing that fish. So if you go up near that fish, or if you're interested and you're like, oh, what's going on here? There's going to be people filming, and we're going to be making YouTube videos there. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to be on video, don't be on video. All right. So that's just part of that thing. Carpooling. If you can carpool to this event, please do so. The more people you can carpool with, the better. That is a phenomenal idea, because even though there's a lot of parking, it's expensive. There's a cost to it. It's going to cost $7 or $8 or $9 or whatever to park for the day. Sometimes there's like beach volleyball events there that's in the same area, and parking is a little bit more difficult. And so we would rather people not have a difficult time finding parking. So the less cars that we can have there, the better. And, I am expecting for there to be, a decent amount of people coming to this event. So carpooling is great. So team leaders, organize carpooling if you can. That's a very, very good idea. What time will we be finished? Like I said, we wrap up at 9. The sun goes down around 9 o'clock in the summer, but we'll fish into the evening. Stay as long as you want. It's up to you. But usually 9 o'clock, people are starting to head out. Dave, I can't go on the fishing date where my team is, but I'd still like to come to one of the other events. Can I come? Like I said, yes. If you can't make the date that your team is fishing, I apologize about that. We do the best that we can to make it fair and everybody come. But you're welcome to come to any of those events. But just remember, if you catch a big fish and it's not your team, the points don't count for your team. They count for the team that's designated for that event. So let's keep that in mind. Let's see. I want to learn more about fishing, how to tie knots and what kind of fishing equipment to buy. I want to get into it. How do I learn to prepare to be successful on the beach for this event? Well, I happen to have a YouTube channel, and if you want to learn more about it, I have got a whole series of how-to videos, and I'll have them linked in this description. I have my channel is called Watch Your Lip. It's a dual meaning. It's watch your lip because a fish is, going to get a hook in his lip, but also like, hey, watch your mouth. We're keeping it clean here at Watch Your Lip. But that's my personal fishing channel, and we are going to I have a whole playlist of videos on, it's called the Beach Fishing Fast Fish series, where it teaches you how to fish and catch fish on the beach. And there's a whole bunch of videos. You can have a blast. We also have another playlist on how to tie different types of knots. So if you're interested in that stuff, go check out my YouTube channel and have a blast. There's plenty there. Okay. Dave, I can't make it at 5 o'clock. Should I still come? I can't. I get out of work at 5. It's going to be 6:30 before I get there. I would say, yeah, come on down. We're going to be there through the night. So if you can't get there until 6:37 or whatever, great. Come down, come hang out. It's still worth it. Now, if you can't get there until 9, it's up to you. But that's a gamble, all right? But you don't have to be there at 5 is my point, all right? Can I keep the fish that I catch? That's a great question. And the answer is maybe, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we keep and adhere to all of the Fish and Wildlife regulations for each species. So if you catch a snook, they're great to eat, but they're out of season during the summer, so we're going to have to let them go. Tarpon go back. Barracudas, there's a slot, there's a size limit. The big ones get like a disease, but typically people don't eat barracudas, but the smaller ones are good to eat. We will be snapper fishing if we catch a permit, So the answer is yes for the species that we can keep and that are edible. No if we catch a hammerhead shark. They're a protected species. If we hook one of those, they don't even come on the beach. We get them off and let them swim. Okay? Hopefully that answers the question. We're going to do our best not to violate any laws and keep everybody legal. And if we catch an edible fish, we practice fillet and release. All right? So what kinds of fish are we going to catch? This is our last question. And here's the thing. We catch all kinds of stuff, including snook, tarpon, barracuda, jack crevalle, blue runner, bluefish, permit, pompano, palometa, blacktip sharks, spinner sharks, and more. Okay? In fact, I'm going to show you on my wall here. I've got some images of fish. That's my son with a tarpon. That's a permit that I caught. Those are my kids. That's a long time ago. We got tarpon. We got permit. We've got barracuda. We've got sharks. We're having a good time on the beach. And this is my my plaque here that I use to kind of advertise some great fish. But if you want to see some of the videos on that, you can check out my YouTube channel and see some of the videos of us catching fish there. But guys, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Check the description of this video for links to those videos, plus more information on the event. Like, oh, I forgot the dates. All right, they're in the description of the video, and you can find all that stuff there. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, ask your team leaders. They're going to be informed as well. But we're going to have a great event, and we're going to glorify Jesus as we go fishing and have some good fellowship. So, guys, God bless you. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.